Hey guys, and welcome back to DarkLogic Studios' Attack on Titan theories and discussions. Before we go any further, I want to give you fair warning that these videos are going to contain lots and lots of spoilers. So if you're not caught up with the manga, then what are you doing with your life? Seriously though, if you don't want spoilers, you should probably click on something else. If you're all caught up though, then let's get to it. Alright guys, so let's talk about Armin. If you've been watching my videos, then you've probably been wondering what I have to say about this. What's going on with Armin? What's gonna happen? What this creepy image with Bertolt is supposed to mean? So here it is, my thoughts on Armin's future. So if you've been following my channel, then you know that I have a theory about Armin possibly being related to the Reiss family. Put a link to those videos in the description if you want to know more. But for those of you who already know all the little details about it, let's take a look at this and try to figure out what's going on here. So as I said in previous videos, I had predicted that if Armin woke up right away and had Bertolt's memories, then he was probably related to the Reiss family. If it took him some time to wake up and he didn't have Bertolt's memories, then he's probably not related to the Reiss family. And so what happened? So Armin woke up 4 hours later. He had no recollection of what happened prior to Bertolt transforming into the Colossal Titan. So he didn't remember anything that happened after that. He didn't remember coming up with a plan to take down Bertolt. He doesn't remember jumping into the steam cloud and burning to death, well, thankfully. So he doesn't remember any of that. And with how things turned out, I would have probably said that, nah, he's not a Reiss, you know, this theory's debunked and we can just move on. Only if not for this freaky imagery that we have of Bertolt kind of looking down on Armin as he's waking up. Like, what is this supposed to mean? So if we look at the panels, we see Armin, the last thing Armin remembers, then we kind of fade into this transition, and we see the Colossal Titan. We just see his head, he's got all this clouds around him, Armin's kind of just looking at him, and we see that Bertolt is crying, and he looks kind of remorseful because they were friends, you know? Even though Bertolt had his mission, they'd still become friends with these people. But what I find interesting too about this is the fact that half of Bertolt's face is just a skull. Like, why is that? Why would his face just be a skull? If I were to guess what that means, I would have to say that, well, first of all, is this a memory? Some people are saying it's a memory, some people are saying it's not. Now, could this be a memory? It's probably not one of Bertolt's memories, because Bertolt would be, if this was one of his memories, he'd be looking at himself. What we're looking at is probably not a memory. And the reason I say that is because when we see Eren recalling memories from Freda or from his father, we see it from their point of view. We don't see them unless they're looking into a mirror. So this is probably not a memory, unless it's a memory of Bertolt looking at another Colossal Titan, maybe his predecessor, who he inherited the Colossal Titan power from, if that's even how it works. Which, if it was, a lot of people have been saying that Armin's the Colossal Titan now, which I'm not sure if that's gonna be the case. I was saying no, probably not for a while, but the more I thought about it, it does kind of make sense because, you know, Eren got the armor ability from drinking a serum, and what are serums? Serums are spinal fluid of Titans or shifters or something. So it would make sense to say that if Armin ate Bertolt, that he would gain his colossal power ability. However, it's confusing because, okay, in order to become a Titan, you have to inject the serum and then you have to eat a shifter. So why would that be? Why would you have to have spinal fluid put in your body twice? there has to be some kind of fundamental difference between the serums and the spinal fluid of a living shifter. That's what I think. So whether he will be able to inherit Bertolt's power or not is still up in the air. We won't know for sure until he transforms again. So anyway, as I was saying, I don't think this is a memory. I think what this is meant to symbolize is Bertolt's consciousness still being alive inside of Armin. Perhaps the half-skull thing is meant to symbolize that he's still, part of him is still alive inside of Armin. Like his consciousness is still in there somewhere. And this could kind of make sense if you consider what Yuri was saying about Freda. When he was talking to Kenny, he's talking about how when Freda eats him and inherits the power, that he's gonna live on inside her. And Kenny was saying as he was looking at her that he could see him in her eyes. So even though it's not a memory, in my opinion, I still think there could be a possibility that Armin is a Reiss because of this imagery, whatever this is meant to symbolize. I think it's meant to show that Bertolt's consciousness is still inside of Armin. And what does that mean for Armin? Well, it doesn't sound good, I'll tell you that. We've been hearing about this falling out between Eren and Armin, but there may be a possibility that Armin really is going to be the one who switches sides, maybe not by his own will, maybe he'll be influenced by Bertolt, or maybe even possessed by him. But then again, that may not be the case, because thinking about Bertolt and Reiner and Annie and the other shifters, they're not bad people, they're just people on the other side. They don't really want to destroy the people inside the walls, but it wasn't necessarily their choice. Because as we see from the flashbacks with Ymir, she ate one of their friends and that turned her back into a human. And when we see Bertolt and Reiner in that flashback, they're just little kids. And so they've been shifters since they were little, and they're like out there by themselves in the wilderness. It looks like they had like backpacks on. So it does look like they were probably being trained at a young age to be these warriors or whatever. It's pretty messed up. So Bertolt, he's not really a bad guy. So if Bertolt does have some kind of influence on Armin, I don't think it's really going to be, like, he's not going to have evil intent. He's just, maybe he'll be selfish, or maybe Armin will start getting his memories, or maybe Bertolt will start communicating with Armin, like in his head or something. Who knows what's gonna happen from here, but it's definitely foreshadowing something. And as I've said before, something's gonna come of Armin being a Titan. It's gotta have some kind of significance. This definitely has some significance here. How exactly that's gonna play out, we're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. Like I said, whether Armin is a Reiss or not, there's definitely going to be a significant role for him to play in the story within this next final arc. I mean, now he's had to take up Erwin's mantle in a sense. Levi's like, don't let anybody regret their decision, even yourself. So Hanji's like, just gotta stay determined. So Armin's kinda got this burden on his shoulders now. He's gotta fill the shoes of Commander Erwin. But to be fair, Levi said no, that's impossible. But still, Armin's got a big responsibility now, and he's got to fill that responsibility somehow, whether he's prepared to or not. So if he does become influenced by Bertolt, that's going to be really significant, because they're going to be looking to Armin now. He's the strategist now. They're going to be looking to him for all the plans and all the strategies and all the ideas for what to do next. But I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. Thanks for watching. Peace.